learning how to discover your purpose and make your dreams come true. But in order to make this happen, you must understand the difference between the real you and the outer self. It's also mentioned in 2 Corinthians 4:16. If you look at the two diagrams that I am displaying here, the real you is full of love, security, peace, generosity, inspiration, worthiness, and all the other positive qualities you possess. The outer self, on the contrary, includes qualities such as shame, feeling of unworthiness, frustration, insecurity, and fear. The real you is supposed to be the driver who uses the outer self as a vehicle of expression. Your outer self becomes an imposter when you are not living from who you really are. The real you possesses everything you need to make your dreams come true. You just need to begin living life from the inside out. By doing so, you will move to higher and higher levels until you reach your dream. As a plane taxis down the runway, there is a point at which it has used up too much of the runway and built up too much thrust and too much lift to abort the mission. It must take off and fly. There is something similar that happens in our life when we step over that line. Going forward to the next level is no longer simply an option or something to do only if it's convenient. We know the next level has our name on it. Hey guys, my name is Bobby Phillips and I'm based here in Sydney. This is part of my 365 days challenge and I'm here to narrate a story that I read it in this book. So it's about the resilient power of purpose. This is a book by Larry Diangi. That is, when your dreams become your purpose, you're absolutely unstoppable. So let's begin our the resilient power of purpose. When your dream becomes your purpose, you are absolutely unstoppable. So let's get deeper into that conversation. Now, as you see, if we have a strong why, or if there is an inspiration that we can take, we will take ourselves to the next level. Everyday morning, if you are daily doing the same routine, there is no motivation in that. On the contrary, if you are given an option like you have to go to Hawaii, okay, for a week's holiday or 2 weeks holiday, what would you do is, like, in normal circumstances you might lay back and sleep and wake up, go to your work, come back, because it's the same monotonous thing. But if you have a purpose, a strong why you should be doing it, you are inspired to do this. You will get up early in the morning, you will do all this packing, and you are excited a week in advance. What happens is, like, that inspiration, you must tap into that inspiration, which is the inside bit, the real you. Okay, so when you tap into that real you, that is when the magic happens. The universe will bring together people who can or who will help you out at that level, the point of no return. You got to cross that. I'll tell you a short story and wind up my broadcast today. There was this two young kids. One was 8-year-old and one was 9-year-old. They were playing on an ice rink, and they were jumping around and all those things. Suddenly, the ice sheet breaks, and the 8-year-old just falls into the hole. And the shelf that had broken, it raises up and it blocks that and traps that young child under the water. The child, the 9-year-old child, didn't know what to do. In a very panicky situation, he sees at a distance there was a tree. He goes out there and breaks a branch about 3 inches in diameter, breaks it, takes off the leaf, and starts running towards that particular hole where the child had gone, and bangs onto the shelf. After much persistent banging, what happened was the shelf breaks, and 8 feet hole is created, and the child sees the other child inside the water and pulls him by his by his collar and pulls him out. He then yells out for the people. Paramedics come in and revives the child. No one is questioning, all the parents, everyone is there, and once the paramedics are gone and hush and everyone is buzzing, they look at that branch, and it's about 3 inches thick, and they look at that ice shelf which is about 8 inches thick. They are wondering, like, how did the child save the other boy? How? And they have no reasoning. There is no reasoning behind it, like how a child could save that other child. But the child was saved. There was this old gentleman who was listening to all this conversation. He comes in front of the crowd and says, like, I know the reason why. Because when this happened, there was no one out there to suggest to the child that it is impossible. So that fear factor was gone. The purpose was the love of one child for the other to save, and that inspired. That was the motivation. You know, when we, us human beings, go beyond the point of no return, we will take it to the next level, and that is where the magic happens. Friends, please start tapping into the real one that is inside you. Okay, so on that note, for today, I will leave it at this point, and I will start narrating the story in my subsequent sessions. So until then, be safe. I'll be there in India. So, and I will also broadcast, and I am going to have a wider spread. It's just not going to be motivation. It might be cooking, and it might be traveling, whatever it is. But daily there will be an update. So on that note, So on that note, I will take a leave. And what do we always say? Be cool. Take it easy. Thank you. Lots of love.